You can't help but feel a little bit flat after a Scotland defeat, and it wasn't a stellar performance either, but the context of this is that Japan are a very good side, as Liam McLeod mentioned in commentary, a side aiming for the quarter-finals of the World Cup. Where do you sit with the performance and result this evening?
I think the reality is we feel a little bit flat and probably disappointed with the performance and result, because I thought there was more there for us. If I'm being honest, I felt we could have really gone and get after the game. But it's trial and error in these types of games. That's why you take them on at this stage in the season with these types of windows and the availability of the teams and the top teams that are there, because you want to know where you're at heading into the tournament. Tuesday night will be a different type of test for Scotland, but tonight was a really good test at home, and if anything they've maybe given Japan too much respect coming into the game. You know, Steve touched on it at the start of the show and how much he had looked at them in the preparation for this one and he expected big things. He thought it would have been a really tough game. I thought they flattered to deceive at points, but you could see the quality when Japan decided they wanted to go at us. A couple of moments caused us some real problems, but I think Scotland will come away probably thinking, OK, we've got a gauge for them if that's the level. We know how difficult they can be, but I think there was more there for Scotland tonight. I think Jack Henry alluded to that as well. But a real good test, and I think, you know, you're right, you can't have, you know, Scotland 4, Denmark 2 every night, but it gives us a really good gauge of where we are and where we think we can get to.
Neil, Junior, Ito with the decisive goal in this match, and there was moments of real quality from Japan in this game, as exemplified in this goal as well. But could Scotland have done more to keep it out of the back of the net?
I think when Angus sees us back, I think he'll feel he could do better there. He's sort of he's gone thinking he's trying to anticipate it's going to be slid across him, and he's almost down before the ball reaches him. And I think in hindsight, when he looks at it, I think he should save it. But they're good, they're incisive. We've seen, you know, all of these Japanese players come in, particularly with Celtic coming in and breaking lines and having that power and first touch. That touch with Ito there and the little feint just to drop Kieran Tierney just earns him a little bit of yard or half yard just to get a good look at the goal. But I agree with Leanne that this is a good side we played tonight, right? They're beating Brazil. As Jack says, they're one defeat in 10. They're serial qualifiers for World Cups. This is a good test.
As a top side, Japan are a very well-oiled machine and a side that are used to competing at the top level, that speak volumes of perhaps where Scotland have come, though, that, you know, a narrow late defeat against Japan is leaving in disappointment.
Yeah, but obviously we're at home and we've qualified for a World Cup, and this team has come that far that at home we expect to win these games. But today we've not done it. Of course they've went quite deep into tournaments in recent years, so they are a decent team, but we also want to try and do the same going forward.
イングランド戦は序盤から主力の躍動に期待しましょう。